So we're live with the I don't know first prototype first proto episode of the VGF podcast. I'm Jer, and with me I have Tassi.
It's going to take some getting used to, I see.
Yes, indeed. But what is your name anyway?
Oh, real name, you mean?
No, not. How do you pronounce Tassi 10?
Tazzy 10. I'm not used to people mispronouncing it, but yeah.
You have to remember, I'm Scandinavian. I have a different way of pronouncing stuff.
You're not the first. You won't be the last.
Okay, well, then I'm glad. Then I'm really glad. And supposedly joining us today was also Merylink, but he haven't showed up, and we got tired of waiting, so we're just gonna go without him.
We have a very strict time limit. You know.
So we said about around 1 o'clock, and he haven't showed up, so yeah, we're just gonna get rolling. So we could start just presenting ourselves, just what we do on the forums. You could start if you want to.
We're going to keep this as awkward as possible.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
The first episode's always awkward.
So awkward as can be. Well... Oh no, not awkward silences.
Don't worry.
I'm not really anyone too important. I just have probably some very high amount of posts. I've been here for a long time. I don't know if you put all the, probably about 13 years, and I've probably been someone who's been here the longest now. People
Wow.
show up and disappear after a while, but I think I've maintained a decent amount of being here, one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, when you say 13 years, I go like, damn, I only been on here since '08.
That's still a decent amount of time. Yeah. Don't think that just because I've been here for a long time, you're just nobody.
Yeah, I know. It's just that there are these old members that just show up now and then again and say hi, and then they disappear off again. I tried to check in a while, and it's been a fair amount more since I became the computer gaming and technology mod, co mod, I should say.
Yeah. Despite being here for the longest, the only moderation place that position I've ever held was when we had member forums, and there wasn't really anything very active, if anything at all. Probably one of the more active member forums, second only to, I think, when Val had a paranormal forum, and I think that was a member forum. But then they took all that away. So, besides, the only time I ever used the forum was to IP track people. So.
Oh, okay. Searching for spammers, that kind of stuff.
Abuse of my non-existent mod powers.
I haven't done that yet. I look forward to the day when I actually find some way to do that efficiently.
It's not nearly as useful as you think it is, but
I know.
possible.
I know.
Not. I mostly joined back in 2001 because of we had this role-playing forum, but it really lost quality. I guess because either everybody left or we just kind of lost interest in making long posts on VGF. So most of that got archived. So mostly I'm just here to I kind of just browse and make posts when applicable.
Yeah, it's something I do too. I just hang around and see what's going on, and if I feel that I have something important to add to the conversation, I try to post it there and see if anyone finds it interesting.
And that's the big problem. You never know. Sometimes you end up having a post and several people click or post, and sometimes you do something and it's like there's nobody that cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's life. Yeah. Anyway, maybe I should present myself. I'm Jerry.
Of course.
I'm your benevolent KO mod for the computer gaming and tech forum part of the site. I kind of took it upon myself to get this thing off the road and on the road, and here we are recording.
It's been a long road, but we're finally here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a long. Yeah, when did we start talking about this? In January?
It's more like a trip to the grocery store and back.
Yeah, something along those lines. Also, I'm from Scandinavia, so if you think I pronounce word weirdly, there you have the problem. And I'm not thinking of changing that anytime soon, just because I can't do much about it.
I don't think I'm that much the best at grammar anyway, so we can both sound really awkward, so...
Well, okay, so I'm in good company then. Well then, so I asked my co-host to come up with a couple of subjects we could talk about, but well, one of them isn't here, and the other one kind of missed that post, so it's only me that have a couple of subjects. But on the other hand, I put down some work into it, so there's a lot to talk about. Do you know what I did this week?
What did you do?
I installed Windows 95 on my computer.
95?
Yes. On my current generation gaming laptop, using DOSBox.
Oh. Huh. But that's... Why not? Do you need... I guess you're probably need that for like some certain games or something, right?
Yeah, that was the main part why I did it, because the problem with the 64 bytes operating system is that they can't do 16-bit games because reasons.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that sort of thing. Like I think there's like a few games that rely on that sort of time thing, and if you don't, and if it's not that, it just like that thing that you need to make sure it doesn't. Like, I think, for instance, there's a King Quest game where you get a bomb and it has a set timer, but because it's 64-bit, it activates, like, immediately and you die instantly.
The clock cycle goes by faster. It really does, so it's a really, really bad thing. Anyway, so the reason why I did it was partly because I wanted to see if it worked, but also because I really, really wanted to play Sim Tower again. So, I used a special build of DOSBox. I'm not going to go into details, but if anyone is interested to see the process I did, I'm going to link to the video tutorial I used to get it to work. Mostly if someone else might be interested in anything. But yeah. Another reason why I did it was that I really, really, really had the urge to play Sim Tower again, and they don't have it out on good old games, as far as I know. So I had to go the hard way. So
never easy.
No. But that's the thing with if you're a retro game fanatic, it's always the hard way these days.
And there's always that one game that nobody ever wants to release. If it's not like Legacy of Kain 1, it's Mischief Makers.
That too.
I think that might have been on... Well, I'm not going to try and say anything that might be wrong or not.
Well, the American fans had to fight for Earthbound for the longest time.
At least they got it, I suppose.
Yeah.
They want more things, but...
After like a decade of whining.
At least they were listening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So anyway, I managed to install the Windows thing and get it up to run, and I managed to install Sim Tower on it, and I'm happy as can be. And when I try to play it, I'm missing DLL files. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm still stuck on. I'm not on Square 1 anymore, but Square 2 is like. I need to find those DLL files, DLL plugins, so I can actually play the game. And that
uh,
turned out to be a hurdle I'm not gonna be able to jump in the.
not in one jump. You need a couple.
Yeah,
Maybe stand on top of the hurdle before you can get over it.
yeah, but I figured it would be a nice little project for this podcast, so I would have something to discuss.
I'm never really good at I have a very bad history with PC games. Just for instance, just like last weekend, we wanted to go and play Diablo 2 because me, my sister, and her boyfriend like to we like to do play every once in a while, and we have like a little party set up. But the thing is, before I would just keep it in the laptop because I never really use any other CDs, and like a couple months ago, I started getting concerned that if I kept it in there, I could it would be spun out, or I got really concerned about it. So I put it away. So I put it in a sleeve and put it away somewhere. So this last weekend, when we all decided that we wanted to play Diablo, I had to I went and I tried to open where I thought it was, and I had to go searching all over the place to find the CD for one. But when I actually did find it, and it wasn't where I thought it was, I put it in and I start up Diablo 2, and it shows my account for I log in and it shows the characters that I have for 5 seconds and then boots me out.
Huh.
Then it proceeds to say that my account was deleted. So I had to go to after trying to save or trying to figure out on the game, I go straight to Blizzard. I sign in using that account and it lets me in. So my account isn't deleted, and absolutely it doesn't seem like anything's wrong at first. So I try it again on Diablo 2, it doesn't work. And so the weird thing is this is where it gets weird.
Mm-hmm.
I changed the password on the Blizzard account, and then I decide to try and use that password on the Diablo 2 account. And it doesn't. It says that the password username combination doesn't work. So then I should note that originally it didn't let me sign in on Blizzard East. I had to sign in on Blizzard West. So the last thing I did before was change it back from West to East before signing in on my username and my old password that I changed, and then it lets me in with no problem.
Huh.
So now the Blizzard account and the Diablo 2 account have different passwords, and it works completely fine now, and I don't know why. And that's just kind of, I don't know if that sounds really confusing, but that's just part of some of the troubles I end up having with PC games.
Yeah, the joy and the security you have when most of the information about your characters are stored on online servers. Fun thing can happen. I mean, we're basically just one well-placed EMP away from from losing game data.
That's just a choice.
Yeah, it's part of the future of gaming, I suppose. I mean, it's great for the people that don't have much space on their computers, but I do feel like we should have the option to store our data locally if we could.
Can you do that on Steam? Take your saves and put them on your computer? I don't.
On Steam it is. Everything.
Oh yeah.
On other account, I don't know. I haven't tried on on my PlayStation account to sign in on another PS3.
Yeah, I'm more of a console gamer because for the most part it usually works, and nothing bad happens when you for PCs it's usually it has to depend on how your rig is. And I have a laptop to start off, and it works fine for a lot of stuff, but there's just as much stuff that it'll lag and be kind of jittery on. I can't play. I bought Gianna's Sister's Twisted Dreams, and I can't play that because it's a laggy mess.
Damn, even with low settings.
I tried it as low as it got. It's still really difficult. Really difficult to play.
Okay, well, I have a quick question I can so I know. Do you have a graphics card on that laptop?
Yeah. Does it matter what brand it is? Because it's ATI.
It shouldn't. I mean, because some of the smaller laptops have a onboard video card, they say, but it's mostly just used for if you want to stream video or something like that. It's more of a fancy second processor than a actual graphics card. But I don't. We can make that a subject for a later episode if we manage to make any more.
I'm going to have to look up all the Wikipedia articles on that one.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Let's see. Graphical cards are an edible food. Who edited this again?
You know, I don't think you should eat a graphics card. That much copper isn't good for your digestive system.
I can't think of a good pun to segue into that, but yeah.
Yeah, and well, good heavens! Imagine when that thing is gonna come out the other end. Ugh. But yeah, I did. You spoke that you were felt more as a console person, but I'm kind of both. But I'm leaning towards the computer because I can do cool stuff with it.
I mostly just go where the interesting games are. It doesn't really matter where, for the most part.
Yeah.
This next generation, I'm probably this generation I got all three consoles because Banjo-Kazooie mostly.
Yeah, as you might know, I'm a video game console collector. So I think I have most of the console from Nintendo and Sega, from the NES to the GameCube and Genesis and Dreamcast. But I also managed to get a couple the PlayStation and everything, and so I have a lot of games. The next hurdle is to try to get all the fun games. But I managed to find Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo 2 last year for a dirt cheap price.
I have those both as well, but that's because I bought them when I was younger.
Okay, yeah. I didn't have as much money when I was younger, so I had to buy them now.
I'm a fan of Banjo-Kazooie, or the Banjo series, because I'm a big fan of 3D platformers, but I can see where the last game in the franchise was like, it has its up points, but most of its down points are just kind of like it's really open and really dull.
You're talking about the Nuts and Bolts game? Yeah. I haven't actually played that because I don't have an Xbox.
I thought you were going to say because everyone said, please go away from this one.
Well, you know, I'm one of those people that can appreciate a game for what it is, not what it have to live up to. I mean, it's kind of hard to go from Banjo-Tooie, what I think is one of the best 3D platformers ever, to something completely new in a series. So I really need to sit down and play the game, but to do that I first need an Xbox 360, and that's not going to happen in a while.
Probably not. You could probably get one that's under $100 that has some kid drawing all over it, and there's probably a whole wasp nest inside.
Dude, I've cleaned out like 3 NES consoles to get one working. So there's some yucky stuff in your electronics. You should really take them apart and clean them once in a while, so I don't have to do it.
Listen to Jer. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, I'm a kind of a geek when it comes to electronics. I do all kinds of crazy shit with it, so I just try to maintain them and keep them clean, and so should you.
You better.
So yeah, I was going someplace with this, but I lost my train of thought.
Console collector.
Yeah, console collector. Yeah. Console collector. I need to find this. Oh, the magic of editing. Yeah. Oh, now I remember. So, with the 3D, when a series takes a new direction, I'm usually not the one to go. Oh, they changed it because it's bad. The prime example for this I have is Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah, I see. I see that.
Yeah.
I did play a little bit of that, but I've learned recently that Zelda games aren't my thing. So part of the problem with that was that I think I got like a little. That was during when I rented a lot of games. So that's one of those instances where I played I played a little bit and then it just kind of ended.
Ah, okay. Yeah. As I played the previous Star Fox game, and then I sat down and played that, and firstly, it is a different game, altogether, with some All-Wing stage thrown in, just give it a bit more Star Wars feel, Star Fox feel, I would say.
I almost wish it didn't have that, but
yeah, I suppose it worked. I would say that.
But again, I haven't played the whole thing, so I wouldn't know.
Me neither. So I played until the first R-Wing section, and then I
think that's the same place.
I had to give back the copy of the game. So what can you do? So, but I played it and couldn't really see what people meant when it was a bad game, because it was fun to play it. It wasn't the same as the games I used to play, the other Star Fox games, but it was definitely enjoyable. That I can say for the Star Fox game for the DS too. I mean, it's a bit different, but it's back to concept with the R-Wing fights and the stuff.
I think most of the problem might have just been because of the story, if anything.
Maybe.
About how it's like the last adventure of Star Fox.
And then it turns out it isn't.
Well, what are you going to do on that one?
Yeah.
It's like, this is the last one. It's like, well...
No.
We want more money, so somewhere in between, I guess.
Yeah. So, but, they can... It's their stuff. They can do whatever they want with it, as long as they feel like we can get money out of this. So they do it.
As long as people are willing to buy it.
Yeah. Also, that's another thing that bothered me with if we keep with Nintendo, because I have the best examples on on those games, but we have
There are.
Go ahead.
We keep interrupting each other. There are other examples outside of Nintendo, but there's one I can't think of. Devil May Cry, for instance. I'm not even talking about like the latest one, Devil May Cry 2. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I played a bit of it.
I shouldn't act like you haven't, but mostly because I remember it. I got distracted because Jared's online. I mean Marlink. But, well, I just made that more awkward. But getting back on track, Devil May Cry 2 was like, it was absolutely nothing like the first one. It was really easy. The protagonist was like completely different from how he was in the first game, but and like I don't think many people liked. I think the final boss was made fun of because it was a building demon, like a demon coming out of a building, like some sort of weird warping thing. It looked really weird from what I've been told.
Uh-huh.
It was.
I think we have Marilyn with us.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings.
You managed to get here.
Yeah, I
Just
kind of Forgot, but now I'm back. So
Yeah, it happens.
I didn't put the event in my phone, so naturally I just completely forgot it existed.
Yeah, I set an alarm and it didn't go off. So like 10 minutes before we were supposed to start, I went, "Oh shit!" and ran to my computer and started setting everything up.
So you're recording, Jer?
I'm recording. We're live. We're not live, but I'm recording.
For better or worse.
So what have you guys been talking about?
Right now we're just
Kidnapping.
discussing games in general and what how a series can take a new approach and people start to not like them.
Yeah, I was bringing up Devil May Cry 2 for the most part. I haven't gotten... Alright, people didn't like Devil May Cry 2 for several reasons, and it ended up being like... This is actually an instance of the creator himself kind of trying to whitewash the whole thing, too. Because, I think there's, like, no, I think the only instance I can think of is in Beautiful Joe, where they actually have Dante as a playable character, and I think he talks about somebody stealing his sword and going somewhere with it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
But I think the biggest thing was the fact that they ended up making... they keep trying to avoid that span of time between 1 and 2 entirely, because 3 is meant to happen before 1. And from what I've heard, 4 is... I might be wrong, and 4 takes place between 1 and 2, but I've heard 4 takes place after 2. So
they don't know what how the timeline goes, really.
Or they don't care.
That too.
For once, I would like a series to actually go chronologically. Like, it seems like every series, whether it's like movies or video games, they tend to go, 3 comes in between 1 and 2, or 4 is actually a prequel. I mean, it's so... What's wrong with an actual chronological timeline? I just don't understand why it's so hard to keep an actual progression going through time.
Yeah, I think it gets more interesting as a narrative to do it the other way. But if you're good at writing your story, you shouldn't really have to do that.
Plot holes.
Yeah, but you can always, like you're saying, if you're good at writing your story, you shouldn't have to make a prequel like that, because you could expand on past events through the present narrative. I feel like not enough games try to do that.
Yeah, I'm a bit of both. I'm a bit of in both camps for that, because you can do some really cool stuff when you're jumping in the timeline, so to speak. But I can see I can see that building on the past events could also help to explain what really happened.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being a useful storytelling tool, but I think it's gotten to the point where it's overdone. It's almost become kind of a trope of video games. I mean, now Mass Effect is going back to a prequel. Borderlands is doing a prequel, well, the pre-sequel or whatever. It's a dumb name, but whatever it is. Zelda's never had a timeline, I guess, but even that, they had, Zelda 1 and then Zelda 2, and then already they started backtracking, and then it kind of established a convoluted pile of mess that is the Zelda, air quotes, timeline.
Yeah,
And
but
don't get me started on Castlevania.
Castlevania's the worst. And plus, Castlevania has the problem where it retcons like nobody's business. Isn't it true that in the most recent Castlevania games they've established that Trevor Belmont turns into Alucard or something? I don't know. It's dumb. It's dumb. Castlevania has gotten to the point where this timeline is beyond recognizability. It's just bad.
I think that's mostly just them like starting over, actually, with a new company and everything. So that I think it's just weird that they're just trying to insert the old characters into the new situation when they could just do something completely original and not have to deal with that.
Yeah, I think it's their attempt to go for the nostalgia, but they really missed the mark, because if they were going for the nostalgia, they would keep the old stories and characters, and not just keep the characters but change the stories.
They went one way with the original characters, but then, like, with Mirror of Fate, they went back, which I don't know how I feel about people wobbling back and forth between, we want to do something new and interesting, and hey, let's bring all the old fans back in, and went back and forth, back and forth.
What I think they're trying to do is do this balancing thing when they're trying to draw in new fans, and then they make the game for the old fans, and then they make another one for new fans, and kind of drag more people in there, but it just makes the game feel a bit double-sided, because they have this kind of playstyle in one game, and then they go back to the original, and then they try something new.
I guess that's.
Go ahead.
I guess that's something to appreciate when it comes to Mario, and that they try to keep like as few characters around as possible.
Yeah, Mario has no pretense of timeline or continuity. Mario doesn't care. It's just, this game is this, and this game is this. There's a certain beauty to that.
Yeah,
but
they just go for being fun to play, and then they just take the story and rolls with whatever they think is funny.
Yeah. But as long as we're still talking about Castlevania, you guys were talking about how games will take things in a new direction.
Yeah.
Castlevania is an example of a series that took things in a new direction and completely succeeded with it.
Yeah,
because
with the Super Nintendo one, right?
I was actually thinking more of along the lines of like Symphony of the Night, and how
yeah.
Well, it's funny because Castlevania also went in a different direction on the NES, and it didn't work out because Castlevania 2 is so different from 1 that 3 kind of backtracked to being more like 1, and then 4 tried to be, like 1 revamp.
It was again.
Yeah, it was. And then Symphony of the Night came along. Well, I think there was like Rondo of Blood or something in there. But that style, which is now affectionately known as the Metroidvania gameplay, now that's like standard Castlevania, and that's how most of the games in the series after that decided to go. Yeah. So that game has gone through a lot of stylistic changes, and it's both suffered and succeeded because of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to word this in a good way. As I said, I'm European, and sometimes I butcher the English language, like you wouldn't believe.
Help you out. Hold your hand if you want that.
Forget it. It's just gonna drag on.
If I want to say anything, I think I was thinking the complete opposite of what you two have been thinking, because you guys were like, there's an instance of Castlevania when it actually succeeded. I'm like, wait, you're talking about 64? What?
Oh. It's telling that I didn't even think about Castlevania 64 when I was constructing that.
We don't talk about those times.
I haven't actually played it. I haven't watched anyone play it, so I can't really say. But from what I heard, it's
different.
There's a small section of the population that has a strong nostalgia for Castlevania 64, but when you play it, or if you see it played, it kind of functions like a poor man's Ocarina of Time with Mario 64 elements, like platforming elements, tried to sneak in there.
Oh, okay.
It's the age of the third person at the time.
Yeah, it was. It tried really hard because back in that generation with the PlayStation and the 64. 2D games basically went out of style because 3D was the thing. You had to have your game in a 3D perspective.
Yeah. Everyone wanted to jump on the 3D bandwagon, and some succeeded, some didn't.
Yeah. And then games like Yoshi's Story came along, excuse me, that tried to go back to 2D, but kind of failed and weren't very good, and that kind of pushed people more toward 3D games, and developers pushed them more toward 3D games because that game wasn't very well received. So
it had its own reasons, but yeah, we didn't think about that at the time.
Yeah, I really like Yoshi's Island just because it's one of those games you can just lean back and just play and have fun with it. Sure, it's a bit childish, but I think it had an interesting spin on you need to eat this many fruits, and if you want to make it really hard, only eat this kind of fruit because it gives you more points.
Yeah, I remember. I think my sister tried to do a whole melon only run, and I think it just frustrated her when she tried to do it. So that is serious business, melons.
Yeah, Yoshi's Story doesn't do it for me. Just something about it. The only redeeming quality about Yoshi's Story in my mind is it introduced white and black Yoshis, which are the coolest Yoshi colors.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
You don't think the best part is Cloud and Candy?
You know what? Honestly, Tazzy, I have not played Yoshi's Story in so long that I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't see this, but I'm making the widest grin in your direction right now. No, seriously, that was like the easiest boss that you will ever face.
Yeah, it shames me to admit this, but that guy have actually killed me. I was like 9 at the time, so I think that's I'm a bit excused on that one, but yeah.
Did you not know you could eat him? Like,
no,
was kicked.
You know how he gets faster and faster the more you eat him.
So he was like smacking you around.
Yeah, and it was just he managed to combo me in some weird way. So
cotton candy people are really deadly. You hear about that guy in Massachusetts who got his throat slit by a cotton candy person? Didn't see him coming.
I don't think that happened. I think you're lying.
I'm sure the Onion will back me up.
But yeah, anyway, before I forget, I think Alto Ruffle needs to present himself. We did this thing in the beginning, just presenting us who we are, what we do on the forums.
Oh, sure. Did you guys already go through that for yourselves?
Yeah, we already did that.
All right. Well, hi, my name's Jared. On VGF, I go by Marlink. You guys have seen me. Probably you mostly recognize me by the infamous horsehead avatar. At the VGF meetup, Tazzy actually told me that he expected me to be a horsehead man because he has gotten so used to the horsehead avatar and associating it with me. I'm a supermod on the site as of, I don't know, 2009? I don't even remember. I'm bad at dates. And I've been on VGF since I was 8 years old, which was now 13 years ago. So, oh man, I missed my VGF birthday. Shoot. It's like August 22nd or 23rd or something. I don't know. But I missed it. Darn. I even remembered halfway through the summer. I was like, I'm going to have my VGF anniversary pretty soon.
I think mine's in 3 days. I might be wrong.
Jesus,
so I'm one of the 2001 joiners of the website. So, yeah.
I said this before, but damn, I feel like I've been here a way short time compared to you guys.
When did you join?
I think in May 2008.
Okay.
Maybe 2009. I don't remember. I was basically I was out from the Scandinavian version of high school.
All right. Yeah.
And thought that high school, university, it gets a bit blurry. So I thought I need a new place to hang, and I knew about VGF for like 2001, but I didn't have internet back in those days, so.
Yeah, I actually came to VGF through TMK, TMK, the Mushroom Kingdom, and and there's I was Mario and Link with no space. So I followed a link in a guy's signature. His name was Epsilon. He was a member at both TMK and VGF. And TMK was great, but it was mostly Mario, or entirely Mario. And I wanted to talk about Zelda, so I saw that he had a link to the Grand Adventures in his signature, followed it, and registered as Mario Link. I shortened the name.
Ah, okay.
And that's how my 8-year-old nickname of Mario Link was born. And there are definitely more clever nicknames out there, and I've often thought about changing my internet persona to like Octorok or something like that. But there's a level of nostalgia with the 8-year-old combination of Mario and Link's names that I can't say no.
It's a unique nickname, absolutely.
Well, thanks. So is that all I should say? Any more introduction stuff? Or?
If you find anything more interesting to say, go ahead. But we kept ours about that short.
All right. Well, I don't want to grab the
do the things.
Yeah. So, anything else we have to discuss, or because I'm drawing blank. I don't really can come up with anything new anything different to talk about.
You guys talk about.
Oh, by the way, I could show you. I managed to get a work in progress logo up and running.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's just I threw it together 10 minutes in Paint,
and then put a working title logo over it.
Working tittle. That's great.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything about the misspelling, but
because that's kind of spelling is bad.
that would feel like it's kind of like a little nasty to just kind of do that. Well, at the beginning it did.
You know, if I'd put down some work, I might have been a bit angry, but as I said, I threw this together 10 minutes in Paint.
So you guys were talking about taking games in different directions. Do you guys talk about Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts yet?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, that was the start. Then we went to Star Fox and Devil May Cry and Castlevania. And I had a game I wanted to bring up that was... I wouldn't say it was completely a change of... change, really, but the Metroid Other M.
Oh, yeah.
Other M?
Other M. I have still not played it.
No, I've seen like... You go.
Go ahead.
Okay, Taysa go.
We're going to take turns on who's going to go.
Taysa go.
Okay. I saw like one scene about it, and that's enough to draw me away forever. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, it's just... I played it at Comic-Con the year before it was released, and I really enjoyed how it felt, and it was fun to play, but then I didn't buy it right away when it came out, because I was short on money at the time, and I just heard so much negative backlash about it, and, you know, how the cutscenes were really bad, and the story was atrocious, and the whole authorization thing, and it really disappointed me because when I played that game, the demo at Comic-Con, I had really high hopes for it. I thought this could be a really cool way of presenting the Metroid series, but then it just sounds like they kind of dropped the ball on that one, which made me really, really sad.
Yeah.
So I own it now. My brother played through it and beat it. And then he decided that he doesn't even want to see it anymore, so he just gave it to me.
Ouch!
Gameplay-wise, I really felt that the game was it was entertaining. I will give it that. It wasn't like you just drone on and everything and just why am I playing this? It was engaging, but the story parts were, I would say, cheesy at best.
Yeah.
And just from my perspective, it really felt like the producer didn't really grasp what the character was all about.
Yeah, and the thing with Metroid.
Well, not what the. Oh, sorry, but if I just can continue this, that maybe they got the character right, but down and everything, but how they implemented the character and how they picture how the audience had drawn up a picture of the of Samus before Other M just made the contrast just a bit too much contrast on what we saw in the character and what they did with her.
Yeah, the thing with Metroid is the story is never like the highlight of the game. What is the highlight of the game is the immersion,
Yeah,
and how deeply into the game you get. Like that was the thing that makes Super Metroid so beautiful, is that you really get the feeling of being alone in this giant world that you don't know.
yeah,
And then and Metroid Prime and the following in those series did the same thing. You know, you are immersed in this world, and the story is kind of subservient to that immersion that the game has.
yeah.
Other M drops the ball in the fact that it breaks the immersion so many times. And I had the same problem with Metroid Fusion as well. I thought Fusion had the same issue, where you know it had Adam and or whatever and the computer in Metroid Fusion, and he tells you exactly where to go in Fusion, and in Other M he authorizes your abilities, and that just seems like such a break from the immersion of that Metroid usually is able to provide and what it usually excels at.
Yeah, I would say that they managed to pull it off better in Fusion because I didn't think it felt too forced with the computer thing, but the things that was going to make Other M a bit shaky were there. With the secondary character telling you what to do and just trying to plan, and you had to execute.
Yeah. Now I don't think Fusion was bad. It's definitely on my lower end of the list of Metroid games that I enjoyed, but it had one of the same problems that Other M had, and that's the immersion breaking story aspects.
Yeah.
So.
Also, one thing I found out I find in the Fusion and Other M is that the exploration part is, I would say, it's lacking because some of the things are so damn obvious.
Yeah, certainly in Fusion, because you know you were told straight up where to go every time.
Yeah, and what I learned in Other M, when you're trying to try to 100% the game, is when in doubt, super jump.
You were a braver man than most to attempt to 100% Other M.
Yeah, me and a buddy took a night and just blew through the game, and that was when we discovered that when in doubt, super jump.
Yeah,
it's like a charm.
I will remember that. I've really got to give that game a fair shake, though. I can't just keep spouting off other people's opinions about it.
Yeah, if you can shake off the interruptions with the cutscenes and little. I don't know. I'm gonna try to not spoil too much, but if you can shake off the little white furry thing in the game, I think you're gonna enjoy it.
All right. I mean, I have to give it a fair chance. There are so many other games that I want to play in line ahead of that, and that list kind of keeps on growing.
Yeah, I'm in the same position.
My backlog is bad.
Yeah, and it certainly didn't help this week when I told this before, but I felt I could tell it to you too, that I managed to get Windows 95 running on my laptop using DOSBox.
Okay. For what purpose?
I really, really, really wanted to play Sim Tower.
Okay. Yeah, I have no experience with that.
So I'm gonna try to end it now because, believe it or not, but we've actually managed to speak for about 50 minutes.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, I was only here for about half an hour, so I hope,
Yeah, but
I hope the first 20 minutes were really good, guys.
I think it was a bit shaky at first, but I think it will come together nicely.
Yeah, we'll figure things out. You know what a good topic would be for next time, maybe, is talking about our backlogs and things we haven't played that we really should get around to, but just haven't had time for. I feel like that might be an interesting topic to talk about, just in case, you know, like say I haven't played Other M, but you two have. We could talk about that. Well, not anymore because we just did.
Yeah, but
Other games. I think we could make a good episode out of that.
yeah, I think so too, and we really need to. And the next episode gonna be the launch, so to speak. This is just the test run. I wanted to see how we worked while discussing things.
Sure. You know what might help? Actually having the video chat on. Do you guys have webcams?
Yeah.
I can get mine up and running. I think if I can get OBS to cooperate with Skype.
I have a tiny dot for a camera, and usually works when I activate it on accident.
Okay, I was thinking that might help us gauge who's talking when and help us to so we don't have any of those interruptions or whatever, because it's hard to when we're not in the same room, it's hard to tell who's supposed to talk when at what point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, we could look into that and see how it works. If we all have webcams, so.
And we don't even have to put them in the recording that we make public. We could just use it for our own purposes.
Yeah, as I said, we have a logo. I'm gonna use that. So yeah, I think it went really great. It's just a shame that you came in a bit late, but we can work on it.
Yeah, and maybe you should share this in some fashion with the forums and just be like, hey guys, this is our first attempt at putting something together, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this made for a good starting episode. I really did. So should we just end it here? Because
Sure.
I thought we could we have more to speak of, but I don't really feel that we need to record that.
Yeah, we're getting close to an hour, so sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end it here. Say goodbye, guys.
All right.
Catch you later.